Hey guys, I think about the idea of the world preschool. It's just part of me, I think. So I do think about it a lot. And hopefully after the COVID virus, we can also get a consensus of creative people with some ideas on how to implement the educational system, not just here in this country, but around the world. That's something that can happen these days because we have technology. We have so much computers and information we can share. I think this eyeshadow is a bit much. So to me, my goal is not to run this, but as a consensus, have a council of people with like-minded creative brains coming up with ideas in different countries to spread the word and educate our children. Since it's a private school, we are able to make our own curriculum, which may be helpful in different countries and even in our own country to try to clean up our system and make it better. Importantly, how to treat the children. For me, all children, if they show up, well, even if they don't show up, any human is awesome. They may have really terribly bad behaviors, but we have to go with the positive to try to bring out the positive. And where there's a deficiency in an education, we encourage the community to support and enhance another person. And I mean, all the way back to Hitler, what in the world happened? Why did that happen? What can we do to make sure? And then we've got all this situation in South America. And I guess because I try to stay positive, I think, well, if they could come up here and get educated and we can get those governments to not be corrupted, maybe they could go home and build communities with hospitals and schools and things they need. I don't see why they can't if the governments are not corrupt. And see, the problem around the world that I see, which I haven't traveled that much, but people want to come to America because of our government protection of religion and, the ability to have free speech. All those good things that the Bill of Rights gives us. So to me, to implement this in other countries, if we start with an American school, which is a private school from an art community, and we talk and discuss things, I think there can be changes in the government. I do believe that. I think the children going through school, if it's a terribly poor country, maybe we can pay the families a little bit of money to let the child go to school instead of being a prostitute. The family may not have an ethical belief on that, but maybe they'd rather have the money. And see, we know better because we're a pretty educated country. That we need the women to be educated, to have more peace and a better world. It's going to be a fun project. I mean, it's going to have setbacks, but I think I will come to work every day with a good frame of mind, thinking I might be doing something for the better, for the world, and my friends that get to teach me what they know, and we'll share information and hopefully get paid. I'm working on a nonprofit, starting the nonprofit. And then going to the larger organizations such as the Gates or the Mars family for more funding. And I want to sell my artwork, which is kind of all gone, but I want it to be represented and sold, and 90% of that go to the charity. I need a little bit to live on. And then I have friends that are artists that I feel they don't get nearly enough money for their hard work. So each year we can have applications of 5 to 10 artists that want to sell at World Preschool. And since 80% goes to the charity, 90% goes to the charity, something like that. And I have food business. I can, once I get that the beginning funding, I can set up a food business also with homemade chocolate sauce and stew and macaroni and cheese and hot dog sauce that will help support this venture. We can do baseball cards with artists in them, so your kids will go and some of the heroes are not just the football and baseball people, but also the art figures, the art leaders of the world. they're just interesting. I mean, everyone should know about Duchamp. It's fascinating. That's going to keep them coming back for more, to know they can have a concept and not just have to put it on paper. It doesn't end there. It doesn't end with the canvas on a wall. That's just a concept. What was the story? The couches they traded or something? Artists are a fun group. I really, really hope this starts, because with the right funding, it could be pretty interesting. And Peter Culley, Daniel McNally, BMDO, architects. I think a building that could be built in the United States, and we kind of ship it out like modules or something, so that we get a lot of the Americans working, and then we ship it out to different countries, and then each country has a council with some Americans, some people from their country. The teachers have to speak English, I think, and their foreign country. We can teach the little kids, and when they're junior and senior in high school, we can do exchanges where they get to go and spend a semester abroad with families of the school. It's a lottery. If you want your kid to be there, I think you got to be within a half hour of the school. And we're near the capital, so there should be some population. Plus, there can be air, shipping in foods, things like that. So we get foreign foods. I get to try foreign foods, chopsticks, all that good kind of stuff. And roast for those people in Thailand that have never had a good roast, mashed potatoes and carrots. Nice young man walking by. So anyway, that's all.